Headed up to Chinchin again today with the car full of yarn for Hosmik up there because we've gotten an order for bedspread and a couple of pillowcases from places like New York and Philadelphia in the US. So we're bringing the yarn up to her and explain to her what needs to be done, and also hope if the IT gods are with us today to connect Maria directly with Hosmik here in Chinchin. Tag along, it's going to be an interesting one. Hey, Hosmik, Monses. Long time since I've seen you. Okay, so what we're doing here, Hosmik makes bedspreads and pillow covers for clients around the world, basically. And so what I've done is brought a bunch of blue yarn and white yarn for a pillow for New York and a bedspread for Philadelphia, and then there's some beige down at the bottom with which she's going to make another little project we have going on. But the important thing is the blue. We're going to use this blue yarn to make a bedspread for a woman in Philadelphia by the name of Maria Bakalian. And Hosmik here is the one who's going to make that bedspread. So what we're hoping to do while we're here today is to hook up Hosmik with Maria in Philadelphia by Skype. That would be pretty amazing. The little tiny village of Chinchin, and hooking up with her customer in Philadelphia. That doesn't happen much. You know, the person who actually made the product being hooked up. How did you learn how to knit? Did you learn that as a little girl? You're from Chinchin originally. Okay. But were you born in Chinchin or did you marry into Chinchin? Okay. So she was born and married in Chinchin. And great. And so this project, this actually, I think it's fair enough to say it's my project. We've tried to hook up people like her in villages like Chinchin with customers around the world, and we've been pretty successful in doing it so far. And it's really nice to know that we can get attention for products like the ones that she makes overseas. And you're making some Christmas coasters as well, I understand. Do you have those? Christmas Day? Pop something? Ah, the snowflakes. Right. Oh, you have. Where did these come from? Did I order these? Yeah, okay. Oh wow, I love them. Look at that. Look at that. These are made here in Chinchin as well. This is actually an order for, yes, it's also for Maria in Philadelphia. 6 of the green and 6 of the red as Christmas coasters to give away as gifts at her church in Philadelphia. So we can show this to Maria on Skype as well. Okay, so you have 8 people working. Did you do these or did someone else do these? But others make. Okay, and who makes you also make fruit coasters? Oh, no, here's the cherry. Yeah, that's a cherry coaster, for example. But what we're going to do with that cherry coaster, actually. Okay, so what we're actually going to do is sew a bunch of these together into a baby spread. So you have a baby spread with all of the Armenian fruits on it. That's going to be an interesting experiment, sewing these coasters together into that. You know what? That's a little bit of information about the project, a little bit of information about the product she makes. You've seen a little bit of the village as well, and you know that we are 3 hours drive from Yerevan, that there's not a lot of economic activity going on up here in Chinchin. There's a lot of potatoes, there's some cabbage. There used to be a rabbit farm here during the Soviet period, but that's been closed down with a lot of other things in this country. So any economic activity in a village like this is really important, especially for women like Hosmik and the thousands of other women like her out in the villages. And that's why Homeland Handicrafts does what they do, try to create a little bit of income for women like Hosmik. Hosmik, shall we try to call Maria in Philadelphia? Just say a few words about. I'm in Chinchin right now. This is of course Mariam's hometown as well, and it's through Mariam that we met Hosmik, and now Hosmik and 7 other women are making items for people like you overseas So it'd be really interesting if you could say a few comments about that. About I think it's amazing that someone in this little town can make something for you.
Oh, thank you. Yesterday we were talking. Nishan and I were talking, and it's a real dominant effect. How I got connected with Perped to begin with, and then all these other villages. And here I am sitting in Philadelphia, learning all sorts of things about Armenia, and getting to know about the dexterity of the women and how resilient they are. And it's wonderful that there are people like you and your whole team empowering all of them. I'll say some. I'm sure you understand some of the Armenian.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll switch to Armenian here. Azerbaiján, ç'պես ես այսօր?
Ոչ, normal.
Can you hear her?
One sec.
Շատ ուրախ եմ այս այլեցիքին համար։ Ես միայն գուսեմ ասել, թե այսկե դարիեմը ավելի առաջ էր, որ սկսա սորվի պերտի մասին, արջուկներու պատճառով, անգեբերջ ամուսինս պերտի մեջ էր երդասարդներով, անցյալ դարի ամարը, և նույնադեն զարմացավ թեմին և իմ քրոջ աղջիկը Նայիրի Աբրահամյան Հայաստան գաբրել, անոր միջոցով զարմացավ, և դարիեմը իվեր գուքա դարբեր նյութեր, դարբեր ծերքով շինված ապրանք Ֆիլադելֆիա և ժողովուրդը միշտ իմ հետ զգալի մեջ է, թե ինչ ունի սկովըց, ինչ կա ուզեն նվեր դնել, բայց շատ ուրախացա և տեսա այդ անգողինի ծերքով հյուսված անգողինի ծածկոցը, որ թունգը շինես և մանավանդ հայերեն դարերը վրան գցնես։ Ժամերու, օրերու աշխատանք է, եթե ոչ շաբաթներու, և անի ինձ համար շատ մեծ ուրախություն է, որ գնամ աշխարհի մեկ ձայնեն մույս ձայնը հետը գապվիլ և բլանկետը վերջի վերջո քանդա մի երթա։
Մենք ենք ուրախ, որ հանդիպել քեզ հետ կապնվեցինք և մի ամսվա մեջ ասենք ձեր ուզած զակազը կգործենք և կփոխանցեն ձեզ թիմի միջոցով։
Շնորհակալություն։ Ես հիմա իմ բանի բստիկ ասի ծանոթ է վստահ։
Արջուկը։
Իմ ինքնաշարժի բանալին արածը և գուզեն քշել սորվին հիմա։ He wants to learn how to drive, Tim.
Okay, Baird is only about 10 minutes down the road from where I'm sitting right now, so that'd be great. There's a couple things you ordered actually are already finished. I'm going to go get those for a second. Just a second, I forgot to...
That's wonderful.
Here's...
Very nice. Wonderful. The coasters.
Yeah, snowflake coasters.
Great. That's great. Yeah. You know, just wanted to add that, I'll say it in Armenian again. Հասմիկջան, ես եվոշակ փոքր աղջիկ էի, դերևս 7 կամ 8 տարեկան, իմ մամայի մորակույրը ինձի սորվեցուց հյութ գնել։ Եվ այս մամայիս մորակույրը աչքերը գույր էին, այսօգություն չուներ։ Ասի Բեյրութի մեջ էին, Բեյրութ գաբրեին։ Եվ իր մեզ սուրվեց հյուսել, և հյուսելը գիտեմ, որ ինձի համար որքան այսպես հանգստացնող բան է, գնամ 10 վայրկյան նստին հանգստանալ և ետ գործի լծվի։ Հուսամ, որ դուն չինչինի մեջ ես, բայց մեծ տարբերություն գնես մարդոց կյանքի մեջ աշխարհի 4 կողմը։ Եվ այս բլանկետը, որ պիտի հյուսես ինձի համար Կանադա պիտի երթա, շատ հատուկ անցիմը, իմ քույրիկս, որ ինձի շատ օգտակար եղած է, և ասի ինքը լուր չունի, որ ասի գա իրեն համար կպատասխանի։ This is a surprise for my sister in Toronto.
Okay, well, we need to let you know when this is going to be posted on the net then, so you need to be careful not to ruin your surprise. No, it's amazing, just a year ago, we met Miriam for the first time up here, and it's through Miriam that we met Hosmik. And Miriam today has a Birthright volunteer from Lebanon who's helping her out with the new children's club that Miriam has opened in Chinchin. So it's amazing how this thing is growing, and all the connections and people around the world, Armenians getting together and fixing things. Yeah. So, Hosmik, Inch.
May I ask the name of the person? Who's the person?
Akasia Podjan, huh? I think it was Akasia, but I'm not sure of the last name. It's Podjan or something like that. She's here in Chinchin now.
How long?
Just for 10 days.
Okay.
But I can find out for you.
Okay.
Okay.
You know how people have a happy place they go to in their minds, like when they're sitting on the dentist chair or something?
Yeah.
My happy place has been all this homeland handicrafts work. And, I have this dream that maybe Nishan and I can come over and maybe even stay at the bed and breakfast in that area.
Yeah.
Maybe next summer, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those happy places for me.
I brought 3 birthwriters up here today. One from Beirut, one from Haleb, and one from Baltimore. Rafi Vartanyan from Baltimore. So he's right now playing guitar over at the school with Miriam and her children's club. So it's an amazing thing to be able to travel around and show people these little tiny places, and they fall in love with them and things. So, but even more really, really enchanting is the idea that we can sit here in an office, in the mayor's office in Chinchin, Armenia, and talk to you in Philadelphia, and you're reaching out a hand and offering this woman a solution by ordering a surprise for your relatives up in Canada. So bless you, Maria, really. And I know Hosmik's not the most talkative person in the world, but I can tell you a secret, that the first time when she made a blanket and the first customer bought one and I gave her the money for it, that she actually started crying. She was so happy that she had never seen that kind of money in her hands in a long time. So it's not only about helping. It's really, it makes a difference. It makes a real big difference for this individual person in this little tiny town in Armenia. So I love what I do, and I love what you do, and you love what I do, and I love what she does, and she loves it. It's a great little situation we have going on here. So Maria, it's great. Any other questions? Or?
Well, I think Hosmik doesn't speak much, but her hands do all the speaking in the world. Exactly.
And here's the other thing that we're working on. That's the little coaster, the Santa Claus coaster. And we have an order from Los Angeles for these, and the snowman coaster.
Okay, so, why don't you? Can you add some in my order?
Можете еще для ее? Huh?
Can you send me a dozen of each?
She's just not an excitable person. Of course she can. Iharke. A half dozen of each or something?
I would say, well, at least half a dozen. I don't know how much room you have in my package.
Yeah, we'll make room.
Please.
Okay.
And I don't know how much it costs to send an extra bag with the traveler. Do you know? Do you have any idea?
It depends on the weight.
Nice.
We'll try to figure it out. We have Paul Vartan with at least 2 different rides coming over before Christmas. So we might split it in 2, but we'll be able to get everything over, I think. Okay?
Okay, especially if it's before November 2nd.
Right. Well, that's going to be a stretch. We'll try to do that, because I know you have your fair on that day. Yeah. Okay. Thanks much, Maria. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, it's been a thrill. It's the first time we've talked.
That's right. This has been nice.
Okay. Thanks so much, Maria. God bless. Okay. Bye-bye. climbing out of the village of Chinchin, as we do so often on Temecanu Mekur. The road isn't very good, but that's just the way village roads are. Great meeting housemate and being able to put her directly in contact with Maria in Philadelphia, putting the customer in contact with the woman who actually sits down in her living room in Chinchin and makes things for her. That's just an amazing thing. So I hope to be able to do it more. Until next time, Body on the Pot.